This is Jeremy with Native Music Online and with our first exclusive interview with Pensmoke. I've known Pensmoke probably for about 10 years and seen his music off and on. And through Facebook, we were able to reconnect. And Pensmoke, tell us about kind of where you're at right now and what you've got going on.
Yeah, it's good to be here, man. Working on a second album right now. Did the first album, technically it was '09, late '09. So it's been a while, and working on the second one. I'm about 7 songs into it. It'll probably be about 14 tracks, 14 to 18 tracks. Um, and Music is it's evolved a little bit, but pretty much the same thing as people are used to hearing from me. Maybe a little bit more topic oriented now. I touch on a few things uh, that I didn't in the first album, but pretty much the same formula.
Cool. Talk a little bit about growing up and kind of who your influences were.
Well, I grew up in Memphis. My family moved there not long after I was born, and the hip hop was just getting big there, and then Memphis got its own scene and everything. But I never really did get into the local scene as much. I listened to a lot of Rakim, Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, the East Coast groups, and then later on when the West Coast started coming out too, I'd listen to Ice-T, in that same time frame, like the golden era time frame, and they pretty much influenced the sound as far as the delivery and the rhyme patterns and everything like that. Of course, it evolves as the times go forward, but that was pretty much the I'd say the foundation for the style that I use in particular.
So did you have like a lot of battles growing up? Did you get to perform a lot?
I didn't actually. Although hip hop was big, there wasn't really a scene there. Like I said, I think the as far as other than like crunk rap, I like the Memphis style, like hustle and flow type, 3 6 Mafia type. Other than that, there really wasn't any kind of like a traditional hip hop scene where people would get in a cipher and battle and things like that. It just didn't exist. Um, I didn't even start really recording music till about 2003. Um, and that's a long time from when I started actually trying to do it. But late bloomer, better late than never. And so I mean, I just pretty much would rap with my friends and stuff like that. But just wasn't really a whole lot of opportunities to cut your teeth.
We've kind of heard about your background now, kind of about this new album. You're 7 songs in. There's a lot of hot topics today, man. There's a lot of racial divide in the country. There's a lot of people looking down on other people. Kind of, I haven't heard the new album, but I'm sure with that being in the media like it is, I'm sure that's being addressed somewhere.
You're right. You're right. There's a song that goes into that. There's a song about just Native issues in particular, like several things. The whole song's about Native issues. There's a song about drugs and the effect drugs have had on my family and my friends and, the city I grew up in. And I mean, there's a lot of course, there's songs about God and the decline of morality and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and the foundation, basically. And but this album, you were right to say that because this album does touch on a lot more topics. The first album was kind of just about me and where I came from, and I had a song called "Speak on It" with another brother named Endon. He's Creek from Oklahoma, and that was really the only song that I had that really touched on any particular topics that were, it was the whole song was about topics, issues basically.
Suicides at all-time high right now, and it's a big topic. Drugs and alcohol are always huge in our community. What are some of the things that you're doing in your local community?
Uh, well, I guess music is pretty much it. I mean, I'm just a other aside from doing music, I'm just an average guy. I work a 9 to 5, and I don't really get a lot of opportunities to do anything other than work. And when I'm not working, I'm recording music. That's why I mean I try to do my best in the music because it's really my only outlet at this point. I mean, I suppose there are probably quite a few things going on in the community that I could get involved in. But as far as the Native community, where I live right now, the closest Native community is Atmore. It's the Porch Creek people up there, and I don't really get involved with them that much. I went to one of their powwows, but their tribal leadership right now with the whole thing with digging up graves and things like that, I'm just really not interested in getting involved in that kind of situation. There's a lot of tribal members that don't agree with that. The people themselves are not bad people, but the tribal government is just they really dropped the ball on the casino thing, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of the situation there.
The Porch Creek tribe, which is a federally recognized tribe that receive, I guess, their tribal recognition in the early 80s, I believe, and ended up digging up some of those ceremonial grounds and some of those remains of our ancestors and things like that. And that's a big topic right now in Indian country as well. This is a platform that we have right now where we're reaching thousands of people on Twitter. The Facebook page is building up pretty good. If you had a something that you wanted to share with the youth right now, what would that message be?
Things get so hard, and I know because I've been there. Things get so hard that you want to give up. Things get so hard that you really can't see the end of it, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But there's always hope. Even despite your situations, God is always there. Uh, you just have to reach out to God. Above all, don't give up. I'm constantly hearing about the suicide thing, and it's getting worse and worse. And it just really saddens me that people, things are that bad that people feel like that's the only way out. And I would say, never give up. You know, um, hope is the last thing to die with people, and but never give up hope, and always be positive. It sounds kind of cliche, but it's the truth. You just never give up because you never know what doors are going to open up.
You're talking about tribal issues. What tribe do you come from?
Gadua, commonly known as Cherokee, the North Carolina group. Never, we had a couple of family members that walked the trail, and they actually made it. But most of my family's from the mountains still.
And with Pensmoke, you can catch him on Facebook. Do you have a Twitter account or Instagram or anything?
Facebook's probably the main medium that I use. You could just Google Pensmoke, the professional outcast, or my personal page is Michael Thomas, and in parentheses it's got Pensmoke. I got a Reverb Nation page, a SoundClick. Really, if you Google Pensmoke on, or any search engine, just put in Pensmoke, it'll take you to like various ways that you could get in touch with me.
Good deal. We got this big album coming out. When do you see that hitting the platform, man?
It's really hard to say. I was looking for like summer, like towards the end of summer, but the guy who's producing my album has had some pretty bad medical issues. He's kind of been in and out of the hospital, and so it's kind of been pushed back a little bit. I'm still working on it, so I'd still like to say probably towards the end of summer, August, September, something like that.
Cool. So any like hot collaborations you got going on or working on this new album?
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I only had really one collaboration on the first album, but in this one I have Shadow, who you know very well. Um, Endon is going to be back. Dawn Karima, who is like the most awesome person. She's Cherokee and Creek from North Carolina, and
Oh,
she's
she
like,
does some huge stuff too out east. Yeah.
She has done so much for my music. She's just like my personal promoter, man, and she's just selfless. And she's always been there to help me and Don himself, and Don and several other artists. Uh, I'm trying to get my friend Jason Nighthawk on it. He doesn't have access to recording equipment, but me and him used to rap back and forth back in the day, and he's never really done an album or anything, but he's kind of witty with his flow, and I'm trying to get him on there. There's also a guy called SL from Repeat Offenders, which is a Pennsylvania hip hop group. Um, there's a whole lot of people I'm talking to right now, man, about collaboration. There's one song on there that it's just going to be nothing but just back to back bars, people going one after the other.
Oh man,
And
that's awesome.
I honestly, there's some people that I'm not sure if they're going to be there or not, but I'm pretty sure. But I don't want to say ahead of time, so I just, you know, leave it at that for right now.
All these names though, man, I'm hearing like Oklahoma, North Carolina,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania, man. It's reaching a lot of different places.
yeah, I'm very happy with that. It's a blessing, man. God is good, and a lot of things just came together, and things, if you work hard, things do tend to come together. Sometimes they don't, but more so than not, they do.
Now,
It,
I've seen you working a lot with DJT, or submitting some
oh yeah,
tracks
how
up
could I
there.
be, man? He has showed a lot of love for me and the group I was involved with called True Penmanship, which is kind of disbanded and kind of doing everybody's doing their own thing now. Still friends and still talk to each other and everything. But DJT pushed a lot of True Penmanship songs on his show. He played a lot of Pensmoke songs, and he's good people, man. He's also got the T-shirt and hat game, going on, and he's got he's got his hand in a lot of things, and I'd like to submit some music. It's been a long time, but I really don't have anything yet, and
Yeah, man, I almost wore my Native HipHop shirt, man, tonight on the
I have
interview.
one. I have one too.
That's pretty awesome. So, once the new album drops, are you looking at any tour dates, performing anywhere? Do you have anything lined up quite yet? I know it's a little early.
The only place I've really done shows was like around here in the Mobile area locally, and that was I did a couple of shows. I opened up for Caboose one time or twice actually, and then he actually introduced me to the other guys from True Penmanship, and then we opened up for him a couple of times. But that was the only shows I've really done so far. I've been rapping for a long time, man, but just actually getting out there and doing it, I'm still kind of green. Just a few years in, and so long story short, if an opportunity comes up, I'm absolutely ready for it. Just nothing's really in the pipeline right now.
So I'm going to throw some off the wall questions at you, kind of a real quick, just so people kind of get to know you. Fry bread or dumplings?
Oh, fry bread.
Chicken or ribs?
Grew up in Memphis, so as much as I love chicken, ribs.
Tupac or Biggie?
That's hard. I never really did listen to them when they were out. I was always listening to the quote unquote conscious guys. But as you get older and they're nostalgic, you grew up and you heard them. And I have Biggie songs I like and I have Tupac songs I like. But as far as passion and nostalgia, and taking you back, Dear Mama, keep your head up. I got to go with Tupac, man.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that one. I wasn't expecting that one. All
I know
right, well,
I was all about East Coast, man. I always loved East Coast hip hop and everything. And as far as content, Pac he didn't really say anything. Some of his stuff was pretty revolutionary and things like that, but a lot of it, the thug stuff, it wasn't anything that was innovative. But just for the feels, as they say on the internet, just nostalgia and good vibes. Remembering where you were when you first heard it and things like that. And Dear Mama still reminds me of my own mom, so I mean, I got to go with him, I guess.
Pensmoke, man, I appreciate the time. I know we kind of went over just a little bit. Thank you so much for letting us push it back a little bit. We had to duck from some tornadoes earlier, so
I'm
we're
just
still
glad
trying to
everybody's
get it
all
in.
right.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Thanks you so much.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.